Hey, Rich, how are you today?
I'm well, thanks. How are you, Mike?
Good. Everything's all good. You can hear us. You can see us, hear us. Everything's good.
Yeah, so far so good. You want me to shut this door? I'm in a kind of a room here, an office room or whatever.
You look fine. We can hear you fine.
Okay.
So, welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming here today. It was a long road path to get to you. I'll tell you. You just got back from the road trip, right?
Yes.
And you got a game tonight.
Yeah, we play at 6:30, 6:35.
So we appreciate you coming in here on crunch time on game day. So everybody, Rich Gedman, two-time All-Star, Boston Red Sox legend, Worcester hero. Like I talked to you earlier today, I've been around town talking to everyone. He seems to know everyone in town. Not a bad word to say about the man. And yeah, that nice chuckle. I know what you said earlier. But thank you for coming on. We got a few questions for you, obviously. So how is it being back here in Worcester working?
Oh, it's great. It's always nice to come back to a familiar place, see familiar faces, and certainly see some of the nice new things that are going on in the city. It's really pretty incredible what's happening around the stadium.
That park is unbelievable. It really is. When they first started that whole project, I don't think many people understood the location, but the way it fits down there is just incredible. I don't know what. Go ahead.
No, it's a special place. It's not a bad seat in the house, and certainly the people that put this together. What's up, Adam? Certainly, the people that put this together really saw a tremendous vision. I mean, from a baseball standpoint, you're going, wow, it's a great place to play a game. But certainly the powers that be that have a way bigger imagination than I have see this as being something special for the city. And I think it's only going to continue to get better in the area. So.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's great stuff.
Yep, absolutely. What's with the Coors Field effect going on down there? Balls are flying out of that field.
Oh, well, who knows? It's the balls, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, there's some excitement and energy here. And, maybe the fans make a big difference in, the way the ball is moving here. I think maybe it's location. I think maybe sitting in the middle of the Seven Hills of Worcester that we have a wind blowing out to center and right field that, it's conducive to hitting long balls and having people want to come watch how far these balls are being hit.
It's
Who
crazy.
knows? When the winds change, it might be a little different, but right now it's traveling pretty good and it's a fun place to watch a game.
Absolutely. People are going crazy. It's unreal. And like I said, everything down there looks good. How is it with full capacity?
Full capacity. I mean, the energy is here. It's very loud. Certainly when you haven't done it in a year and a half. I still think there's more to be had here. I think there's going to be more. They might be full capacity, but every seat hasn't been filled yet. And it might be that type of stadium that you really don't need to sit down to enjoy the game. There's certainly plenty of places you can walk to and see and get different observation spots from that really make it kind of unique upon itself. Again, there's a lot of thought that's gone into this, that this is not a stadium that you have to sit in your seat to enjoy the game. That's for sure.
Yeah, I believe it, man. I'll tell you, the social media has been filled with pictures. It seems like everybody's been. I'm getting down there soon, but awesome. And I was watching what you said in one of your interviews yesterday, that this is one of the only minor league teams where it's our team. Like you said, we had what were the Tornadoes? They weren't affiliated with the Red Sox. Like the Ice Cats, they weren't affiliated with the Bruins. So you guys.
Yeah, but it's no knock on any of those sports or teams.
Right.
It's just, there's something to be said when it's our team. It's some, people go to Fenway Park and have been Red Sox fans forever. And it seems only fitting that we would have our AAA baseball team as close as 40 miles away from Boston. And our kids in this neighborhood get a chance to watch the guys that are going to be playing in the big leagues on their TVs as they grow up in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
And that I was talking to my friend. Yeah. Oh man. And just when these guys start getting up there, it's really going to be like, hey, we saw these guys down in Worcester. It's crazy. That's awesome. So this is Lincoln T. My co-host. He's got a few questions for you too.
Oh yeah, man. Hello, Mr. Gedman. How are you? My name's Tom Fleming. It's a pleasure to speak to you.
Tom.
I grew up in Tatnick Square. My father and his brother went to St. Peter's, so I was like 6 years old when you graduated from high school, and literally heard stories about you until now. Still, he tells them. Oh, did we lose a picture?
No, I was turning down the mic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can get a little loud. Sorry. It's been a while. It's been 50 years I've been waiting to talk to you. But in particular, so anyway, so thank you for that. It was so fun. All through my high school years, you were our catcher. Yeah, and I remember Logan Field down by Tatnick Square. Does that ring a bell with you? Logan Field?
Many fun games down there.
Yeah, people would always point out where you hit the longest home run. And it was like this huge about, no, he hit the medium strip. No, he hit the Legion. No, he hit the Vet Center. Either way, you obviously launched a few bombs down there because no one could stop talking about it. So, again, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Same. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Rich, this is my friend Tommy Daly. I don't know if you remember, well, you must remember, the 2002 Jesse Burkett Little League World Series team. Tommy Daly was the coach. I don't even know if you probably heard of him by yourself. He probably doesn't even need an introduction, but he's got a few questions for you too.
Well, I was with Rich when he hit a bomb in Zott Park in Chicopee.
Really?
Yeah. It was just a line drive.
Yeah, just a line drive. At the ground rules meeting, Titus went out and asked what happened to the football, the other coach, the ones that haven't hit it, that coach. Titus goes, I got a guy I think can do it.
Yeah, I think we had some audio problems there. I apologize for that, Tommy. Not sure what that is. Mr. Gedman, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry for these tech difficulties. It happens once in a while.
Rich did.
No, I know exactly what Tommy's talking about. I'm just acting like I don't. No, I mean, I was a senior in high school, and we were playing a state semifinal game, and we were playing out at Zott Park. And so the story is that the umpire and coaches were talking, and our head coach said, what happens if somebody hits the ball into the football stands? And I think the umpire said, don't worry, that doesn't happen. And the coach insisted that what happens if somebody does? And I think they came up with, well, if it bounces into the stands, it's a double. If it goes in the air, it's a homer. And I think it was the first inning maybe that we were up and hit a ball into the football stands. And we just never seen anything like that. And it was like, well, I didn't even know what was going on until after the fact. So that even made it a little more special or a little more fun to talk about, because somebody said that could happen, but you're just playing, you're not worried about how far, you're trying to do what's best for your team, and you're trying to find a way to win. And that just happened to be, hey, it's a home run. Somebody makes a big deal out of it. All I know is that as I get older, the home run got further and further. So
no kidding, right?
It's just the lore of time.
And was that your state championship year? Were you playing for St. Peter's? Was that was that year? Or
yeah, 1977.
1977. Okay, yeah.
1977. So I'll
you were probably 3 back then, right?
I was 6.
I was 2. So, well, I mean, I was 2 years early. I wasn't born until 2 years after that. So, but I'll tell you, I was reviewing everything. I mean, my thing when I started this whole thing, I'm a big card collector. So I just went through all this 85, 86, 87, 88 top stuff. So it was just kind of all this stuff was interesting that it's all popping up now. But one thing I didn't know, what was it like to your first at bat was a pinch hit for Yaz.
Yeah, it's really kind of a neat story. Yaz was very good to me when I was first coming up with the Red Sox. And I'd probably been sitting in the bullpen for 2 weeks and just watching the games and observing what was going on and catching in the bullpen and going through the routines of batting practice. And one Sunday afternoon, Yaz was DH, and after his first at bat, he came up a little lame. His back was bothering him, and I think he actually, in his own Yaz way, said to Zimmer, he says, "Why don't you just let the kid DH today?" And I think Jim took his advice and called down to the bullpen, and I guess the rest is history. I had 4 at bats, and my first at bat technically was a pitch hit for Kyle Yastrzemski, which is a pretty special first at bat.
That's unbelievable. I mean, what a question. Were you nervous? I mean,
I don't know if nervous is the right word. I think exhilarated, probably. Running across the Fenway grass in the outfield. I'm not even sure if my feet really touched the pillow. I mean, touched the ground.
The pillow.
But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's incredible. You're like floating on air.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and not to belabor the point, but so you were 17 when you signed as a free agent, and then so you were only 20 when you hit the majors, and you're pinch hitting for Kyle Yastrzemski. Is that true? So you really only had 3 quick years, and so the maturity must have gone from literally a St. Peter's senior to a professional baseball player within 3 years, if I'm reading your biography right. Is that?
I mean, it's easy to. I think because I was young, I was naive, and there were so many things that I didn't know that actually helped rather than hurt. When you don't realize where you are sometimes, it just seems like part of what you do, I guess. And I didn't have a whole lot of time to think about it. I just played and tried to take advantage of the opportunities that were given me. Did they happen fast? Absolutely. But like I said, maybe I was so young, and it's not that I was starstruck. I just don't think that I knew any better. I just played. And sometimes I sit there and think you don't have to be smart to be good, because sometimes you can think too much in a game that's as difficult as baseball. So sometimes you just got to roll with it and believe in it, and just work hard. And sometimes things can work out for the better.
That's kind of what I was wondering, if it was almost a little easier, not easier, but you know what I'm saying. No, I appreciate your answer. It's sort of what I would have thought, because I could picture myself at 17. I wouldn't know what the hell's going on. And then, like by 20, I didn't really know what was going on. But you obviously did. You handled it, and maybe just not worrying about it so much helped quite a bit. Tom Daly, you back on here? You got more questions for Mr. Gedman?
No, just good to see him again. I'll tell you, what I always appreciate about Rich was he never forgot where he came from, and anyone that knows him will tell you that. And then he continues to coach and help youth. I know our friend Jack Cather gave a clinic for coaches that Rich gave that I went to, and I've been coaching. I'm going to my 29th season now. And I get some real good advice from Rich at that clinic.
Excellent.
Hitting and teaching hitting.
Awesome.
He's always giving back.
Also, too, I'll tell you, this whole podcast is aimed at people that just love Worcester. You were the first guy that came up, honestly. Everyone knows it, too. We Worcester appreciates it on a whole, because we need love. We need love there,
Yeah.
On a personal level, what was it like to catch Rogers' 20K game? That's like, was that the best game you ever called, or?
Well, I mean, it certainly was a special day in the history of the game, no question. But much the same, reflecting back on it is way different than going through it. When you're playing at that time, you're aware something might be going on, but you're not really paying attention. As much as I played baseball, I wasn't so much in touch with the history of it. And I wasn't sure exactly how many strikeouts he had. And usually first and foremost, when we're out there playing, we're we're trying to find a way to win. And, we were into the seventh inning and it was 0-0, or I think Seattle just scored one to go up 1-0. And Dwight Evans came up and then hit a 3-run homer in the seventh. And so now you have a lead and the K's are up in right field and you're looking going, I was trying to count them, but they started to run together. It was kind of far away. And I really wasn't aware until I think it was 19 when somebody said, oh, that's the 19th strikeout. He's tied an American League record or Major League Baseball record. And then when the 20th came, obviously he broke the record, but much the same as any other game you play. When you're doing those type of things, I guess if I would have been aware of it, I probably would have been nervous.
Right.
But I really wasn't. All I was trying to do is catch a game and just call the right pitches. The one thing that I remember back probably that made it most special was it was a night that I actually played catch because there was not a whole lot of balls put in play. And I couldn't believe how many called strikes and swing and misses there were, which just does not happen at the major league level unless for a special night like that. So it was pretty incredible to be a part of it. I don't do it any justice in talking about it, but it's one of those things that you go, yeah, I was a part of that. And it was a pretty special night and it'll always be special to him. The thing that we always say that's so amazing is that he had 20 strikeouts and no walks. And in this day and age, who would be able to throw 137 pitches and still be out there?
Poor guys.
But he was, he was big, he was strong. He after that evening, I think the Red Sox pitching staff was looked at a little different, and him in particular, where every time he pitched, the people of Boston or the people of New England or anybody who followed the Red Sox thought this could be a special night. Not only that, there's a good chance that when Roger Clemens pitches, we're going to find a way to win the game. And hey, who doesn't want to watch the home team win? So it made it easier for us to come to the ballpark every day knowing that, hey, when this guy's going to pitch, we're going to have a chance to win.
Yeah, we didn't get that back until the Pedro era was a little bit like that. If you remember that, people would like what,
no doubt. I mean,
but really, Roger was the first of my memory. Yeah, where you would know that okay, Roger's pitching on Tuesday or Saturday or whatever, and that was the game you didn't miss, or you got it on the radio, TV. Either way, you got it.
I mean, I can go back. Yeah, I can go back a little further. Where I can remember '67. It was Jim Lonborg in my mind. That was pretty special. And then if you looked at '78, you had Louis Tiant and Dennis Eckersley. But I'm just saying in terms of just the special pitchers in Boston, we're mainly remembered for the type of hitters we had, not the type of pitchers. And, Roger and Bruce Hurst and certainly Pedro after that, there have been some pretty special guys come through town. And we've been pretty fortunate because of it.
Who was your all-time favorite pitcher to catch?
Well, I mean, it's
tough spot.
Roger would probably be number one, Bruce Hurst, number two, even Oil Can could be 2A.
Love Oil
Can.
Oil Can. There was some, we had really good relationships and we certainly had awful lot of fun when we were out there playing and competing. And certainly I got a chance to catch a few guys that, you sit there and look back and go, wow, Hall of Famer Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. So, I mean, and then just the host of others that don't get really noticed much or they're remembered, but only just in passing if somebody happens to know who they are, where they just had a little bit of time. But all those guys were teammates and good guys. And, when you're around that fraternity and you happen to be around them again, it's like there's a lot of good memories that going through 160 game schedules for 10 years, pretty special.
Yep. I can see the brotherhood, and I get it. So Eckersley, that was your debut catch, and you caught his one hitter.
Yeah, it was 21st birthday. It's kind of neat to be in the lineup on your birthday. I waited 3 weeks for a start, and it was one of those things where again I get a chance to play. Yeah, and just go out and have fun. And he just happened to be spectacular that evening. Great control. He's always had great control. He mixed in his fastball and his slider. kept the hitters off balance, and we scored just enough runs to win. But yeah, he pitched the one hitter. It was a pretty special day. I thought playing in the big leagues was kind of easy after that night.
Yeah.
For you, not for us.
I'll tell you, it's some pretty. It's an incredible break into the league, though. You know what I mean? Pinching for Yaz and the debut with the one hitter. You came in.
Know what happens? I think is, I think in Yaz's case, where I got a chance to pitch hit for him, I think he didn't know that I would play that long in the major leagues. He probably said, if this is this kid's cup of coffee, he's going to be able to sit there for a lifetime and tell a story that nobody else will be able to tell. And in that case itself makes that so special. So if I never played another game, I would always sit there and say, "You're not going to believe this, fellas," and nobody would ever go, "Sure he did." I'm saying, "Listen, I'm sure we could find the tape on this one." And so I get the opportunity because of a Hall of Famer allowed me to hit for him, if you will.
Unreal.
Wow.
Unreal.
Unreal.
You hear stories about hazing, and that certainly wasn't one. I don't know who knows what goes
What's
on.
that?
I said, you hear stories about hazing. It's nice to hear, them taking care of a rookie once in a while, I said, I don't know what goes on behind the scene. You might have paid for drinks, but.
Sure. It's a lot different now than it used to be.
Yeah. Yep. Tommy, any other questions for him? I know you cut off earlier.
Yeah, a couple. Rich, I know it's a great baseball town, but was it a big difference playing in St. Louis than it was playing here in Boston?
There's no doubt that St. Louis is a good baseball town, and I think some of it is because of the success that they've had over the history of the game. Plus, the Midwest mentality is a little easier, and the Midwest lifestyle is certainly a lot more laid back than the kind of the rat race, if you will, in Boston or the Boston area, or even in New England in general, just a little more fast paced. But nothing compares to the passion of the Boston Red Sox fan or just a baseball fan of New England in general.
Yeah. In that same vein, I've lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for 15 years. And I noticed, so you were the coach of at least the Salem Red Sox, hitting coach maybe, or manager for the Salem Red Sox. And you guys played down here a lot. I don't know if I ever went to a game that you were, I'm not sure. I remember I saw Henry Owens play, a few other guys. But did you like living down here? And did you live down here full time, like in the South, Virginia, North Carolina, Myrtle, whatever the area was?
No, we were in Salem. I stayed in Salem I coached there for one season. So I was there from April till September. It was great. It was the thing I remember most. It was hot and the storms would come in over the mountains.
Yeah,
so
that's it. That's it.
I mean, the weather was great to play. The league itself was really good because it was small. So you got to see the same people over and over again. And for our guys, it was very challenging for them because of, their flaws got exposed and they had to make some adjustments. And I mean, it's very similar to what's going on here right now in AAA, where we're going to play each team over 20 times. So our guys are going to be tested and they're going to have to be able to make some adjustments and deal with and make some adjustments to some of the things they don't do well because they're going to get exposed. And if they can't make those adjustments, they're going to have a little trouble.
Interesting. Anything else you want to tell us about the Worcester Red Sox? Like, while we're on the topic, me and Mike were talking about hitting, they were hitting bombs out of there, but how do you like the team? How's it going? I mean, obviously it's the inaugural season. Sometimes you expect hiccups, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know.
Well, the neat part is the game doesn't change very much. Sometimes we'll come to a game and it's going to be a pitcher's night and it ends up being a 2-1 or a 3-1 game. And then there's days where there's 5 or 6 home runs hit and you're going, wow, this is great too. And I think baseball fans in general are hoping to come see somebody hit a homer, but it's not always going to happen.
Yep.
But here so far, it's been a place that you come and there's usually a home run a night, whether it be from one team or the other. I think some of the things you see when you do come here is something you've never seen before. And when they hit a home run here, the lights flash on and off. I think it's absolutely incredible that this new this new technique that they have to be able to turn these lights on and off. Where I know if we would have had a stanchion of lights go out, they wouldn't be able to put them back on for a half hour, 45 minutes. It's happening right now.
Well, I expect to see that in about 10 days. I'm flying up to Massachusetts to hit a game. I can't remember which game we're going to, but I expect to see those flashing lights, man.
Right. You don't see it, right? It's unheard of.
Yeah.
So when you see it, you go, "Oh my God, I can't believe they can do this."
You haven't heard one person say a bad thing about Polo Park or having the Worcester Red Sox come here. It's been one of the most amazing things I've seen in my 60 years here in the city.
Yep, no doubt.
I couldn't agree more. It's one of those things where you're going. I often sit there and I'm amazed because I never thought that this would happen here in Worcester. You'd think, it's going to happen in someone else's city. It's going to happen in someone else's state. We see Fenway Park as Fenway Park. It's an old endeared stadium to us, but we often thought, gosh, there should be a new Fenway Park. And so what we've done is we've actually put it here in Worcester, and we're now a city that has a major league franchise AAA ball club. It's our club. It's the Boston Red Sox AAA team. And not only with that, we have now, when I was younger, the airport had no planes and the train station had no trains, and we all have them up and running, and Worcester is flourishing. And it's just the sign of the times that the city is becoming what we've always thought it could be. And certainly it's a credit to the government at the state level, and certainly in the city, that they see these visions happening and making moves and trying to find a way to make the city better. And I think we're all proud of what's going on here, and it's certainly neat to be part of it.
100%, man. Thank you for that, because Worcester really does need it. And like I've said, that we've had a lot of negative press, but we got to be balanced and spotlight positive too. And this is huge. Like, I mean, really, it's changed the city. Really, the Polo Park has changed the city for the good.
Well, you know what the neat part is, we tend to take for granted just all the other things that we have going well for us in this city. I mean, it's certainly an intriguing city. It has, it has a bunch of colleges here that opportunities. You have museums here. We certainly have big businesses here, and it's neat to see them all step up and do their little part to make this happen and make this venture so successful. So again, that's one of the things that we have to realize. It's not one individual or one group. It's a combination of people coming together and having the same vision and allowing this thing to happen.
Right. Also, a lot of good food down there at Polo Park. What's your favorite concession?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever they put in there. That's the only bad part for me. I probably need to drink more water instead of eat all the food. There's plenty of stuff here, from Coney Island to BT's to the Wonder Bar and a host of others. I know they even said they were going to have some carts outside on some of the evenings. The fireworks here are unbelievable. It's a fun place to come watch a game. But I can't give it enough accolades. You got to come see it for yourself, because everybody's going to take it in differently. The new state-of-the-art scoreboards and just the things here that even if you don't like baseball, you're going to love being at the ballpark here for whatever the reason.
So, Rich, is Jared Duran the real deal?
I'll tell you, he's a talented kid. He's been a lot of fun to watch. We've actually missed him for the last 8 or 10 days. Looking forward to him coming back. He certainly impacted our club in the first couple of weeks. And I mean, he just has tremendous energy. He's a talented kid, but he just plays the game the right way. He goes about his business the right way. And it's just a matter of time before he's on to the major leagues.
I was just going to say that.
Nice.
The tough part about that is he could become a fan favorite right away, but how long will he actually be here before his trajectory goes up to the big club?
Well, if they need him and he's the guy that has to be the one, I'd be more than happy to share him with Boston. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah, me too. It was, as much as we love the hometown team, we're still Boston Red Sox fans, and
Exactly.
Yep. Awesome. Rich, I don't know what you got for time. I know you said, obvious game day. We don't want to keep you too long, and we appreciate you stopping by.
But we certainly can do this again, Mike. Just give it a week or so, or maybe when we get back from the next the next road trip, and just kind of talk a little game, talk a little bit about the city, and
yeah, that'd be great.
Have some fun with it.
I'd like to have you talk to the guys about just like your theories of hitting and stuff. Some of the stuff you told us as coaches about Walt Reniak and how you became you got to expand your time in the major leagues by being able to hit bad pitches and waiting on pitches. I found that stuff fascinating. I think that would be really cool to talk about at a future day.
Let's do it.
Well, the funny part is it's kind of neat to talk about stuff. It's hard over a Zoom call, really trying to explain it.
Yeah.
There's only a few people that understand what you're talking about unless you're actually demonstrating,
Yeah.
But anyways, we certainly can talk about it. And there's been a lot of people that along the way have helped. And certainly with the new thinking in baseball and with all the, the metrics out there, it's interesting how science has got involved in this game more than ever. And it's pretty neat, some of the stuff, and others, it's just comes down to common sense and how you apply it.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Mr. Gedman. It was a privilege, and I look forward to catching the next Worcester Red Sox game in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I get up there.
10 days, right?
10 days I'll be up there, I think.
Awesome.
Yep.
Look forward to it.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, it's time to say these balls aren't flying out of the yard for nothing. It's got to be something to be said for the hitting coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no kidding. We didn't even touch that.
No, they're a talented group of guys, fellas.
Awesome. Hey, we appreciate it, Rich. Thank you for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon. Alex is my new best friend, so I'll be in touch.
All right, we'll see you. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right, bye, guys.
Tommy, thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey, keep Daly on for a sec. Daly, Tommy, you still there?
Yeah,
I think Rich is just turning off.
Yeah.
Hey, so as I was alluding to, I'm going to be up there. Like basically, technically, it's a trip to the Cape, but
right.
Me, you, and Mike at least, and we can gather other people. We got to go to a Polar Park game. We just got to figure out the right date. All right, and I don't know. I got to figure out my flight dates exactly. I guess. Yeah. I think it's actually the 12th through the 22nd, but a couple of those days are totally off the table. You down with that, Mike and Tommy? All right. So I'm going to go look at their schedule and try to pick and run it by Allison when she gets home and try to figure out which makes sense for me to drive up to Worcester, because the Cape League doesn't even start until the last day I'm there, I think. So my only chance to really see baseball is to come up, and I got to watch it with you guys, right?
Yeah,
we got to watch it together. So
not only that, it's you got to experience the park.
That's you guys all seem to be enthusiastic about it, more so than just fakery. Like people pretend to be enthusiastic, but people really seem to be enthusiastic.
Teddy brought my daughter to a game because he's got season tickets too, and she was like, "This isn't Worcester. I can't believe this is Worcester." She kept saying, "That's what
really."
She was so amazed with the park and the atmosphere and the whole product. It's crazy. It's just, I went the other night. Unfortunately, it was the night they got beat 18-5. Two touchdowns, a field goal, and an extra point.
Oh my
God.
There was some home runs that day. Really? There were about 6 or 7 home runs. Most of them over the Worcester wall.
Funny, awesome, man, awesome. I didn't want to say anything. I tell you, I went to go see Roger Clemens pitch one time. I had the opportunity. They were playing against Detroit. It was like 1988. We were a half hour late, and they were down 20-0 when I got there, and Roger was already out. I'll never forget it. I never saw Clemens pitch live. He's the only one I really didn't get to see.
I got to see him really up close down in Fort Myers. I went down to Fort Myers and you could stand over the bullpen just kind of like you can now here at Polar Park. And it was crazy just to hear that ball pop and the catches meant when he was throwing.
Oh, yeah.
It was nuts. It was really
Tommy, I don't think I knew that you played with Rich Gedman for St. Peter's. You were on the same team as him? How did I not know that?
No, because I got cut. That team was so good. J.P. Ricciardi was on that team.
Oh yeah, the Toronto guy, right? Or ended up in Toronto as a GM, but he was a player first, right?
He was a GM in Toronto. Now I think he might be with the Mets. I think he started in Oakland as an assistant to Sandy Alderson.
Well, Billy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, he might be a good guy to get on the
I know
podcast.
JP. I know JP
Yeah.
was my coach when I was a kid, but with
Yeah.
all those.
Anyway, JP was on that team. We had Peter Revezzi, some really Chucky Pasquarelli was a catcher. It was a great team. They had Tommy Horan. All these guys went and played Division I ball, and they won the states. So I ended up getting cut. And Richie was a senior when I was a sophomore. I ended up getting cut. So because my love of the game, I was the equipment manager, kind of a nerdy thing, but I was the equipment manager on the team. But when we won the states, I got a jacket just like everybody else.
Fuck yeah, it's all about the jacket, baby.
So it was kind of like a consolation thing for me, because I know if I had went to South High, I'd be the start and second baseman, But I couldn't crack that state championship lineup. It was the kid Tommy Westerberg was a freshman that year. He was actually the one who put him over the top. He was a catcher, and he had an incredible season as a freshman season. But yeah, there were some good stories. Which I remember is another good Gedman story. He used to pitch too. Played first base and pitch. He never caught.
Yeah, well, I saw that in his bio. First baseman pitcher, didn't catch till he got to the minors, I guess, right?
Well, the Red Sox made him a catcher, and we were playing out a preseason game, a scrimmage out at Bay Path, and Rich was just throwing gas. And when he pitched, he threw gas.
I can imagine, big dude.
He didn't have the greatest control in the world, but he threw gas. There were guys that didn't want to get in from Bay Path, didn't want to get in the batter's box. He looks at the coach, he goes, do I have to hit? Kind of like, remember guys didn't like to get in with Randy Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sound life advice, man. He will kill you. If he hits you, you may die. Oh, and some guy just got hit with a minor leaguer. I saw a bad one. He went to the hospital. I don't know. Was that a Cardinals guy? I can't remember.
Tampa Bay. He was a Tampa Bay Ray, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I only saw a quick story. Like, oh boy.
Yeah, no, he got a line drive right off the melon, boy.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So anyway, Tom, you were there for pretty much the whole time. How did you think that went? Did that go okay? And Mike, obviously, what do you think?
I felt bad about the technical difficulties with my thing. My iPad shit the bed, so I had to switch over to my phone.
Well, actually, Rich handled that great. He actually understood enough keywords that he told that South story. He's like, no, I know exactly what he's talking about. So that's a pro. So no, don't worry about those tech difficulties. How about you, Mike? Did it go okay on your end? Did it feel like everything was sounding good, looking good?
Oh, thank you for throwing that hitting thing in there. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I got another good guest for you too, Mike.
Don't. It's promotional value. Don't.
All right. I'm gonna direct message you, or you can give me a call after we go out. But I got a really good guest.
Awesome.
All right, direct message me right after he direct messages you, because now I'm curious as hell. I'm like, shit, who does Tommy know? Tommy knows everyone.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, listen, I'm going to shut this down. Again, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Tom, have a good day.
You too.
Go relax. Go take a chill. Go take a nap. Whatever you got to do. De-stress.
No, I'm fine now, man. Doing the thing is what de-stresses me. Now I'm totally chill. It's prior that I always get a little anxious, but whatever.
Tell Teddy congratulations.
I'm showering, getting into the car, going to the hotel for Teddy's wedding rehearsal dinner and Teddy's wedding tomorrow night.
Oh, wow. Please, congratulations from me. I know you have a lot on your mind, but please, if he remembers who the hell I am, tell him I said congratulations and good luck. So, all right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.